Almost every trader has experienced the rush of a winning streak, watching their balance climb and feeling like their strategy is finally paying off. However, those gains often prove temporary, washed away the moment the market's behavior shifts. When that money slips away, it triggers a very specific late-night ritual. You sit at your desk, staring at the charts, running hypothetical calculations. You convince yourself that if you had just bought at 400 and held until 800, you would be wealthy. This obsession with hypothetical profit starts a destructive cycle. You hold on to losing positions, hoping for a bounce, or take revenge trades without setups. Despite knowing the rules, you watch the account balance fall to zero. Traders sabotage themselves because they treat the market like a static machine. They find one strategy and expect it to yield identical results every single day, regardless of the underlying price action. This rigid thinking ignores the reality that the market is a dynamic ecosystem. A strategy that produces a fortune on Monday can become a liability by Tuesday, simply because the environment has transformed. Survival in this ecosystem requires a shift in perspective. You have to recognize that the market cycles through 3 distinct seasons, and your profitability depends on identifying the current weather. This chart represents summer, a highly generous market environment characterized by massive, predictable trends. During summer, almost any logical setup produces a profit. Amateurs often carry the trauma of previous losses into these conditions. When the market offers a 200-point run, they act defensively, cashing out after only 20 points and leaving the bulk of the profit on the table. Eventually, the trend breaks and the monsoon hits. The market becomes choppy and unpredictable, offering small gains and then immediately snatching them back. Here, the amateur makes the opposite mistake. Emboldened by the previous summer, they fight for massive profits that no longer exist. They bleed out from 1,000 tiny cuts as the price moves nowhere. Then comes winter. This is a deeply hostile environment where every setup fails instantly. In these conditions, even a perfect technical entry results in a loss. Instead of seeking shelter, the amateur refuses to accept the cold. They aggressively average down their losing positions, hoping for a reversal that never comes, and end up completely destroying their account. The beginner-trader loop is essentially a strategic mismatch. These traders are applying defensive strategies when they should be aggressive, and doubling their risk when they should be walking away. Professional longevity relies on surviving the winter, which preserves the capital needed to capitalize on the summer. Long-term wealth is built by those who know when to stop fighting. When a professional trader identifies a winter market, they shift their focus from generating revenue to mitigating overhead. They accept that the current environment will not pay them today. They execute the kill switch. By accepting a small logical loss, they refuse to participate in a market designed to burn them. This discipline ensures they have the financial and emotional resources to trade again. When the market weather eventually clears, they are still in the game. This pivot requires you to redefine a loss. Hitting a planned stop loss because the environment changed is a successfully executed trade. It is simply the cost of staying in business. A true mistake is changing your mathematical plan mid-trade because you are afraid to lose. Moving your stop loss or averaging a loser is an active error, regardless of the outcome. You can protect yourself against these errors through pre-visualization. Before the market opens, you must mentally accept the maximum financial hit you are willing to take for the day. If you have already accepted a specific loss at 9 in the morning, the emotional panic vanishes when that loss actually occurs at noon. Your brain is already prepared for the hit. Most people learn this through pain. The fool repeats the same errors, while the smart trader learns and adjusts their behavior. But the genius trader learns by observation. They study the market ecology and watch the amateurs burn, gaining the lesson without ever having to feel the fire themselves. True consistency stems from surviving 6 days of controlled, perfectly executed losses. This discipline is what allows a trader to fully exploit the 14 days of guaranteed summer.